Hello, welcome in. This is the Andrew, the Archon Philosopher, talking philosophy to the philosopher in all of us. I'm going to do a condensed version of a new theory of everything, this non-magical metaphysics. The last one I had to put out, it was long, 2 parts, the theory and the laws of physical nature, but I'm going to try to condense this. So let's get right into it. And what we're looking at is we begin with experience. So let's begin with our experience of the world, whether it's everyday experience or the experience of findings of modern scientific experiments. We all have experience, and we can agree on this after we get secure knowledge. And we have to determine epistemologically what secure knowledge about our experience is. And this is generally determined by intersubjective verifiability, 2 or more people. So we're trying to remove hallucinations and other things. So we're getting experience of the world and knowledge of that world. And I've defined reality in the laws video of what is real and what exists, and this accords to the structure and content of reality. And so this is what we're talking about. And you can go back and, again, I say, do the videos if you want more detail. So the question of metaphysics would be, how is it that there's something rather than nothing, or how did this world originate? And so I think I answered it non-magically, and the first part of it is that in the 1999 delayed choice quantum eraser experiment, we see a structural feature where there is information about a future universe for which a choice has not yet been made. And so what's interesting about this experiment is not that there's information about a future, but that we see this structural feature. This is like a scope to see this structural feature. And this is the most interesting thing. And the second thing I looked at was the double slit experiment, where we have a wave function collapse as long as information is provided to sentient creatures or is connected to sentient creatures, either directly or through the equipment and apparatus that sentient creatures alone can make. So the loop is closed, and we get this connection here that we can collapse wave functions and an originary wave function from this structural feature, which is previous in time. We have information there, we can collapse a wave function of the future. Well, not we, and that's the problem. It's not we. It's another type of species. So different species have different cognitive structures, and we see this even within humans. Some people can do things other humans can't, or think things that other humans can't, sense things that other humans can't. Some people are colorblind, some people are color-sighted. There we are. This is a good analogy to what I'm talking about with different cognitive structures. And Plato named this sentient creature that created the universe as the demiurge. He called it the artisan of the physical world. That is, the artisan of the things in the world, but not the structure of the world. I think that's interesting. And so this artisan had information. And this information in this structural feature, which is pre-time, overhang of pre-time, I call it, time A in that delayed choice experiment. This image, a holistic artistic image, this information was translated by one of the laws of physical nature. And this law is something that we experience. Indeed, we experience it. I call this law the translation of genotype to phenotype. And we want to just understand the biologists, and in fact, everyone who looks at it says, how do we switch from a DNA code into a living creature that's self-replicating? How is this translation happen? It's a bunch of nitrogen and a double helix. How does this become a living, breathing creature? Well, this is the name of this law. It's a good way into it, but it really is the law that allows something to be what it will be. And so it translates the code, the information, into the actual reality. This is an extremely powerful law. They all are. And this one is the one that when you create the structure to allow the content, that this one takes effect as an activator of the world. And we see this, how does a rock become a rock? Well, it has this law allowing the rock to become the rock. How does fire have heat? This one allows that to happen. And so this law is extremely powerful. So this is the condensed version, and the more rigorous version, the extended version, is there for those who want to look at it. And so this is the world we live in. It has structure, it has content. It has been activated by one law, given consciousness by another, causality by another, and so on. And I'm just going to say enjoy the world, but take care, as I will be discussing when I move into direction 2. We're now in direction 1, and direction 2 is a historical causal trail to identify the sentient creature. And if it's right that this sentient creature can access this structural feature and collapse wave functions on the macro level in the future, and so that removes the irreversibility constraint cited by Bohr and others. If it's in the future, there's no competing information. This is a dangerous type of situation. And we see this thing in the most powerful thing that I know about in this world. And we'll get into that more in direction 2. But until that time, I just want to remind everyone that once we know where we are, we will know who we are, and then we will know what to do. Thank you for supporting this channel.